Hello there, I'm Lucas Gomersall, specialist for the South East Motor Cars at H&H. I'm here today to show you around our new UTEC Millbrook Proving Grounds venue. This site has been the home of automotive testing in the UK for quite some time and for many other manufacturers around Europe too. And I'm going to show you around the sale that we've got here tomorrow. We're here on viewing day. It's a fabulous venue, I think you'll all agree. It's very exciting. A few of the clients who are here already and stood around me have already commented just how great it is. So let's show you around the venue and also some of the cars. We've got quite a few to show you, so hurry up. So I thought I'd start you off on this 1963 Aston Martin Lagonda Rapide. It's one of only 55 that were produced, and this one was produced for the chairman of Hawker Siddeley. Essentially a four-door Aston DB4 to compete with the likes of the Bentley Continentals at the time. And evidently very well built, an extremely rare thing, finished in Dubonnet. Has a great history, that car, so you should look at it. It's an interesting one. A little bit further on the Aston thing though, got a V550. From what I understand, the only one that was ever painted in that colour, which is a McLaren colour, so it's hell of an interesting thing because the chap had an F1 that was also painted in the same colour and had a racing team that had quite a lot to do with them. So there we go. And I'll show you a bit more. To say we're not diverse here, I mean, a Dodge Viper, be interesting to see what that does. There hasn't been many of them around recently, and that's a really nice one, but really original. So as you can see, we've got the modern as well, Lamborghini Gallardo, one of the facelift ones. Got to have a 911 in every sale, obviously. More Astons, Virage wide body. Going German as well, BMW M635 CSI. And look at this, if you're going to go for a 90s Max Power magazine, then what about that Cosy there? Interesting thing. One of one, Bentley Continental S2, two-door, H.J. Mulliner. The McLeod car is its name, which has a shortened rear end on it, so Captain McLeod could fit into a parking space in Chelsea. So if you live in London, then cheaper parking for you at least. So this is an Aston Martin DB6. It's the second one in sort of this condition that we've had, but this one's quite interesting. So all of the steel chassis has been completely restored by Sean Rush at ASR. So it's essentially a blank canvas for anybody near enough. So as you can see, everything around here has been done, all the floor pans already. So what's next is to go and build an aluminium body. So we have an engine for it. So this isn't the matching numbers block, it's a DBS Vantage block, okay, which will need rebuilding, evidently. Rear axle, gearbox, but we do have a full inventory of it, which is available in our documents office. I'm not going to show you in this video because it's just a load of plastic tubs, but for anybody who's interested, it will be very interesting because you'll want to know what's there. And this one's got everything done by the vendor. He's done a great job. So one for you if you're into your Astons. You're not going to see another one of these anytime soon. This is a Porsche 944 S2 SE. It was one of apparently 14 or 15 that were built, although most people don't really remember them, to this specification. So it was one of the last of the line 944s. It was uprated with essentially a sport pack, so you had better shock absorbers, you had better brakes, more powerful engine, these decals on the side of them, and this one's been fully restored as well, so by Rennsport, if I recall. So it's a hell of a nice thing. I mean, the detail that's gone into it, superb car. That's a real potential investment gem, so do keep an eye on it. Well, I'll show you a bit more on the other side of the main hall now. So this is our pre-war section, if you like. As you know, at H&H, we value pre-war cars, and we aren't like other auction houses. We do feel that people still want them, and they definitely do. So we've got everything from that lovely little standard Riley Kestrel 22T, which is no reserve, 12 Ford, that's a nice car. Relton Special, which is a very cool thing, extremely powerful. That's not pre-war, but it's a nice Morgan. It's a nice little SS Jaguar. I might come back to that and show you that in a sec. Morris Cowley, again, no reserve. I mean, one of my favourite cars in the sale. You can tell because there's a crowd round it, so obviously, that's a Lagonda 3 litre, and it's absolutely stunning. So I drove it yesterday, and, it's I've driven a few Lagondas, and that one really motors. It's got a great gearbox for a Lagonda. If anybody knows them, they'll know they can be a bit of a swine. But that one's got a good gearbox. It's got a good engine. The patina on it is just to die for, and it's been really well mechanically sorted. And I've even found in an edition of Motorsport I've got from 1953, I've actually got a for sale advert for that actual car. So there you go. It's a little bit more expensive now though, because it's not £300 anymore. But it's still quite reasonable for what it is nowadays. So have a look. Just wanted to draw your attention to this beauty that my colleague Damien's consigned. So it's a Mercedes-Benz 190 SL. This one is from 1960, so mid-production roughly. And it's a right-hand drive, a genuine right-hand drive. For anybody who doesn't know, they took these off the production line in left-hand drive form and actually converted them in the factory. So they were very, very expensive to buy new in the UK back in the time. And as a result, particularly rare nowadays. So rare, in fact, and so desirable that this one was owned by the 9th Earl of Shannon from new. And this one actually only has 39,900 warranted miles from new. Evidently been subject to restorative works and, as a result, presents really, really well. I drove it yesterday, drives well too. If you're looking for a good a very, very good 190 SL, then you really don't need to look further than this one. So it make a good pairing with the 300 SL Roadster we've got coming up later this year in Kelham Mall. You never know. Well, I'll show you in here as well. So this is near the main entrance for the auction. And this is the RollsRoyce Bentley room and heavier objects because, well, the floor's a little bit stronger in here, frankly. But we've got a few interesting vehicles in here. So come along and have a look. Arguably the brightest Bentley that we've got in the sale. This is a 1964 Bentley S3 Continental Mulliner Park Ward, so fixed head coupe. This particular car, so it started life over here and went to Australia pretty quickly, so evidently the gentleman had grand ideas about going touring in it because he specified it with a big old sunshine roof. And also it's got air conditioning as well. So, and look at the Caribbean blue colour. I mean, I think it's unique, especially in this colour scheme anyway. But if you wanted a car to, brighten up your day in Mayfair or take down to Monaco or whatever, you're not going to get better than this. So what a thing. I mean, sumptuous interior in it as well. So nice and original in there, all of the correct lambskin rugs and everything. Yeah, nice car. That'll make a very good car for somebody. Well, definitely on the other end of the spectrum at least, this is the oldest car in the sale. So this is the 1905 Delachaux Clayette. And it's a big one. It run the London to Brighton run before. So although it's 1905, it may get grandfather rights. Said to be quite a powerful car, and it's it's very reasonable money for the size of it. So it's estimated at £40,000 to £50,000. It's in lovely condition. It's all in running order and everything. So, if you want something that's potentially, and I will say potentially Brighton eligible, before anybody strikes me down with a lightning bolt, I'm not looking at anybody from the VTC at all, but you never know. So I've got to be careful. Then this could be the car for you. Come and have a look at it. Lovely. But if you fancy something pre-war and frankly quite large, but a little bit different, then this Packard may be the one for you. So it's a 1935 car. It's a Packard 8 Club Sedan. So the chap who's consigned this has told me that it was originally built by a Canadian multi-millionaire for his two daughters to drive around London. And because of that, it's actually right-hand drive. So it's most likely unique. It was extensively restored over a period to the tune of some £50,000, and I can well believe it, given one, the size of it, and also the quality of the work that's been done, evidently. But it's an older restoration, so you're going to get some bits here and there now. But yeah, just a delightful old thing, really. So, I mean, look at that. Absolute luxury. All the nice Bedford cord interior, and look at the way all the woodwork's being done. All of that, that burr walnut in there. And for £14,000 to £18,000, I mean, it's a comparative bargain, really. I mean, a lot of car for the money, that is. A lot of car for the money. Look, the door's closed. Hang on, I'm going to do that again. Nice. Nice thing. I wanted to draw your attention particularly to this 1950 Rolls-Royce Silver Wraith, just because of its bodywork. So this was coached by Ripon Brothers of Huddersfield, and it's just a really lovely example. So it's a fixed head coupe that they've done. I'm not, to be frank, I'm not too familiar with the history of it, but having an eye for coached cars, I do like this one. I mean, look at the way that's all been made. Look, that's beautiful. And the way the back end slopes down like that, it's just, you know, given the money that that's being asked for this car, I mean, what are we at? We're at £30,000 to £40,000. I mean, you know, it just screams of a much more, well, exotic car, essentially. So I think for the money, that's a hell of a thing. So, and I'm going to push it out this dark corner so people can see it better tomorrow when they come and have a look. For many of you, this is probably going to be the most elegant car in the sale, and frankly, I wouldn't blame you. This is a Bentley S1 Fastback, and this one is particularly pretty. First ordered by Mr. Peter Cadbury. It was specified in velvet green over the beige. It's frankly stunning. So it's got £339,000 worth of bills on file for it. It was restored mainly by Riches of England, right the way down to the bare chassis, and I know that because I've seen the photographs of that build, and it's one of those cars which is hard to find fault with. So they don't come quite as nicely as this. The interior has evidently been completely retrimmed, so that towel there is obviously just to protect the lambs will over-rug there. I mean, look at the woodwork and everything. You just don't get them in as nice a condition as this. So given that it's guided at 250,000 to 300,000, if you've been considering a fine Bentley Continental, then I would say this is the one that you should be looking at with regards to condition and everything. You won't get much better than that. So, hell of a car. It is the cover car for the catalogue as well, for obvious reasons. And yeah, we're very excited to see what happens with it. I'm sure you will be too. So although some of you may be Bentley gentlemen, you might like to have something large like the Continental, for many of you, the ultimate car will always be an Aston Martin. This is a 1967 Aston Martin DB6 Sports Saloon, and it's quite a special car in that it was originally specified in silver birch, which I'm sure many of you will definitely prefer. So silver birch over a Bordeaux red leather interior, which I will come round there and show you because it's worth looking at, which has been extensively retrimmed, as you can see. Recently, it's been in the current ownership since around about 2019, 2020, off the top of my head. The gentleman who owns it has treated it to lots of work by RS Williams. So the engine's been overhauled, new main bearings, new big end bearings, all that sort of thing. So I've driven this car, and I've driven quite a few DB Euro Astons in the past, and I think this is probably the fastest and most responsive DB6 I've had my hands on recently. So ready to go anywhere. Well, the vendor says it's ready to go anywhere anyway. Again, utterly stunning thing. And, you know, much more affordable than they were a few years ago. So for £240,000, the quality of the car speaks for itself, really, at that sort of money. I mean, it would cost you way more than £350,000 to restore a car to that level. So, hell of a thing. I'd have a go with it if I were you. So here we are in the rostrum room, which I think you'll agree is utterly stunning. So if you're going to bid, this is where you'll be tomorrow. Evidently, if you're coming to the actual sale, but don't fret. If you can't make it to the sale, then you can also bid via the telephone and also online. If you have any queries about any of the lots that we have in our sale, then you can either go to the listing on our website, scroll to the bottom, and you'll find the specialist name involved with the consignment of the car down there, and also their number or their email address, so you can contact us directly. Alternatively, you can call us on our main telephone number, evidently, or contact us via info@h&h.co.uk. If you do have any questions about the bidding, please just pick up the phone. We'll try our best to help you in any way we can. And if you can't make it or you can't actually bid live, then also you can leave a commission bid as well. So do get in touch. We hope to see you tomorrow, but if not, and you're going to be bidding at home, good luck, plenty to be had.